building a community.
Cheers?
Sure, cheers.
Sure.
Cheers, guys.
This is Drinks With Los Hermanos with Dr. Abby.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, one of the things that we have really tried to do is build this community and kind of say, you know, Battle Creek's not a bad place. It's full of great people, and really once you just build that community, people just flood in, like you said.
Yeah.
And one of the weirdest things that I've experienced is like, oh, I saw you on Facebook, and I was like, I have no clue who you are, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
We get that every day.
Yeah.
Just every day, like, oh, saw
Yeah.
your face, like just unsolicited, just like, hey.
Yeah.
Like
I
at
hear
the
those
Harper
guys.
Holidays, we had
Yeah.
several people just come say, hey, like, because we did that for the first time last year, and a lot of people recognized us because we went to Harper Creek.
Yeah.
This year, it
Yeah.
was many more people saying, oh, you're those coffee
Yeah.
guys downtown. I see you guys
Yeah.
on Facebook all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And which is
Yeah.
like kind of crazy because I mean, we just see raw data and numbers, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to reach a blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
1,500 views, 500 views, whatever.
Yeah.
That's all we process.
Yeah.
But then we just have random people all the time say,
Yeah.
hey, I recognize you guys. Love that you're doing stuff downtown, and
Yeah.
you know, came back and we're really trying to build the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're excited about it. I think that's huge for small businesses, for entrepreneurs too, to know how important an online presence is. And that our generation, that's really, you know, you find out about stuff definitely from your friends or
Yeah.
family or word of mouth. That's number one. Always, you know, probably always will be. Number two is online. Like,
Which
it's for sure
those
where we
could
go.
both be together. Like,
Totally.
you learn from
Yeah.
your family online.
Because they're tagging
Yeah.
you or they're commenting or
There's
like,
so many recommendations for everything on Facebook.
yeah,
It's
totally.
Just what do you recommend in this
Yeah.
area for Chinese food?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
which is a way of life. Yeah, it's so true. Which is really, really cool and super important. What was I gonna say about? Oh yeah, even at that event we were at, people are like, "Oh, you're that lady that does babies." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." You know, you're that lady that does kids, and I'm like, "Yeah." And it's people, or I've seen like different people's threads that are like, "Oh yeah, she's awesome," and I don't even know the person
Yeah.
that's like commenting, and that is so cool and so impactful for a business and for people, you know, because like, what is quote unquote marketing for a small business? Like, I never was taught really marketing or
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. A lot of what I was chiropractors talk about is like screening or getting out there, and that feels so impersonal compared to like marketing being like getting to know people and letting them know. Like, I guarantee that once people meet you and they love you because you're lovable and likable, and then they hear your story, and then they know that you have a good product, and then they know that they're like this conscious, I think our age group too, this like conscious consumerism, right? Like, I'm supporting this cause
Right,
too,
yeah.
like a good cause. Those combined, it's like, that's quote unquote marketing, and that's so much more fulfilling of a marketing
Yeah.
stance too, is like connecting with people and getting them on board with you and on board where they're like, that's their coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like, that's they wouldn't go anywhere else because like those are their boys and that's their coffee shop.
Yeah,
And
especially
you know,
like now when like everybody I feel like is scared of this big world, and
Yeah.
like, getting to know people
Right,
personally, it
right.
really helps them go, oh,
right.
you know, like I remember in the marketing Monday that we were at, you said
Yeah.
a lot of people, you know, came in and felt like you said we're already at home before
Yeah.
they even walked in.
Yeah.
They felt comfortable with
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
before they took a step
Stepped
in the door.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, I think that's huge for people. Huge for people. Like the community aspect of it, and also how many people have kind of come out of the woodwork in our age group being like, oh my gosh, I saw that you could do this, and it's given me the idea. I never even thought that possible prior to this, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Connecting with, and sometimes it's just as fulfilling to help somebody else get somewhere as it is for like you to be doing your business, you know,
Right.
which is really cool because this like coincides with that, is you're getting where you want to be also by supporting and loving and bringing other people up, which is really cool.
Yeah, 'cause I
Really
mean,
cool.
one thing we noticed being downtown is we get a lot of regulars, like especially now, like since it's been cold, that's like really only who we're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just, like, we're from Battle Creek, we go to school
Yeah.
here, people like that.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Which really is like what I see a lot of like entrepreneurs here is like they're from Battle Creek and they might not have originally thought they were gonna stay here, but then they kind of came back and
Yeah.
were like, well, let's build Battle Creek. So,
Yeah.
And like one thing we learned from a lot of the people in Kalamazoo was like Kalamazoo is very communal when it comes to like small food business. Like,
Yeah.
they are very supportive. Like
Yeah.
a guy we met at it was like a food truck rally.
Yeah.
Just talked to him one day, got his card, and then Toby, then we're like, well, we're gonna do this our food truck thing kind of where we're gonna do
Yeah.
coffee, and
Yeah.
I was like, you have any advice? And he just went off and just listed for 10 minutes just stuff that we needed to do
Yeah.
and who to go to, and you need this insurance and blah blah blah. Like
Super supportive.
Yeah.
just didn't
Yeah.
need,
like just rattled
Yeah.
it all off, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Valerie was coming back. Like, she was just like, took me under her wing, was like, here, how can I help you? How can I be there for you? And I think that's part of my story is prior, you guys might have known this or not, I was practicing in California. And I learned a ton out there. We worked like close by Stanford, Silicon Valley area, and got to meet a lot of cool people, but the feel of it was very like transient, like people coming, CEOs coming in or out, or like this ebb and flow of people, and you kind of never got to fully connect. And my practice here has been the exact opposite. They're like family. I was telling this guy, it's like his second visit this morning, and he's like, I've never felt like this in a chiropractic office. Like, he's like, please, are you gonna be staying in Battle Creek? I'm like, oh no, Battle Creek's my home, like I'm here. And he was like, I just feel like home. And I'm like, that is my everything, my why. Like, my patients they become family, and that, like, your regulars, they walk in and I know, I'm like, oh my gosh, how was the birthday party? How's so-and-so? How's Nana doing? What's this? Like, they're way more than just quote unquote clientele. And I think that like rolls into why I named it Grassroots. It's not like Abby Chiropractic or it's because like I see this as not mine. I see it as like this grassroots movement, this community of people.
Something bigger.
Yes, that are like looking for better like options for their families, and healthier approaches to different things. And this office is like for the people, by the people, and I would say 80% of my office is referral based anyway. Like someone tells you about it and they come in, and that feeling is like we're all connected and this is ours. And when it's impacting, like, that's what makes it worthwhile. Like, you don't wake up and go to work because like someone's muscle relaxed or their sciatica went away. You come into work because someone's like, oh my gosh, this has changed my life, and it's changed my family's life. And when I see that, it's when people really take on a wellness lifestyle or take on chiropractic as part of their lifestyle. And that's when you see whatever, huge changes happen in their lives. So it's pretty cool.
I mean,
That's awesome.
that really happened to me when I started going to the chiropractor. I used to sleep terrible.
Yeah.
Just awful
Yeah.
sleep all the time.
Yeah.
And I started going there, like, because I think Mom told me, she's like, that's what I was doing, so you need to go there. And so
Yeah.
I started getting that done, and I sleep so
Yeah.
much better now.
Yeah. And to kind of like tack on to what you were talking about, so starting a business in Battle Creek, the people that came in, it's like they were just as supportive and wanted me to be successful as anyone. Like, I literally had people like, are you sure you're charging enough? And are you doing okay? And like, how's it going? I'm like, these people love me as much as I love them.
Right.
And they want you to succeed. And then it goes from like running, it's like conscious consumerism, and you're also like building something versus just running a business, which I think sometimes gets lost. Like the heart, the soul, the purpose, like why? Like, why are you doing what you're doing? What is your why? And when that gets clear and people start to understand that, you can't help but, be busy or grow, because people want to follow that. They want to be a part of that, and that, that makes it all worthwhile, which is really cool.
That's fine. What got you into chiropractics?
So I was planning on being an optometrist, and so I have my bachelor's in biology, all like the normal pre-health, pre-med type thing. And I was down in North Carolina working for an optometrist and his wife. And the wife was like super into just really like Eastern medicine and yoga and all this alternative approaches to health. So I started doing stuff with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And that kind of opened up my world to, hey, like our bodies are really amazing. And instead of studying like pathogenesis, what causes the disease, right? Like what's wrong with you? Why don't we study salutogenesis, which is like what causes a person to be healthy? What causes a person to be well? And how often are we talking about that, right? Like, oh, you've got this going on and you're just going to have that or be on this medication the rest of your life, or like, oh, this is, this is what's wrong with you, I feel like is continually talked about, versus, hey, like how amazing you are and how many things we can do to support the healthiest you possible. That is chiropractic. And I'm going to like totally jump ahead too, but me as a chiropractor, like what makes, like one thing that I think is unique is like chiropractic isn't my job. I'm not like, oh, I'm a chiropractor. I go into work and this is what I do. Like chiropractic is my life. It's my lifestyle. It's how I am like in all aspects of my life. And at being an optometrist, I kind of realized that I think I wanted to have a boutique of glasses more than I wanted to be an optometrist. And I was like, all right, Abby, come on, crack down here. Because I was like all set to go to optometry school down in Tennessee. And last minute, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is an approach, an alternate approach to health that I can see lots of aspects of ages, right? Anywhere from, you guys have seen my Facebook, hours old, all the way up to I've taken care of patients like in their 90s, So how can I help this whole spectrum of people, and how can it coincide with offering a supportive approach to health? And I love talking about health and stuff, and chiropractic just kind of fell into all of those things. And then, so I was like, okay, I'm going to be a chiropractor. Switch last minute, moved to Iowa instead of Tennessee. And then I was in chiropractic school. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. Yay, learning lots, books, blah, blah, blah. And then I got pregnant. And I went from thinking chiropractic was cool to every single mom needs to know about this, because this was a game changer for me. And experiencing it. I was already getting my doctorate at that point to be a chiropractor. Then I was like, oh, whoa, this is awesome, And I started, after that, I'm like, I want to just get every specialization or learn all that I can learn about taking care of moms, because of course they're a lot different than just like a 40-year-old man. Like a pregnant mother is a little bit different. We adjust them differently, things like that. And then also kids. So I went started to do some work with the ICPA and getting more training in those, and haven't ever looked back. And I almost kind of feel like one of those things, like, and you guys might have had things in your life like this where you're like, oh, I didn't really choose chiropractic.
Yeah.
It chose me. Like, this was like what I was meant to do, even when I didn't know what I was meant to do. And I'm still on this journey of like, oh, I think I'm supposed to be but I think where I'm most passionate about is working with families, working with people as a chiropractor, and now these opportunities keep coming up as an entrepreneur, or as a female entrepreneur, to teach and lead. And like, you look at people, like I always look at people and I already see them like just wonderfully, awesomely made, right? I'm like, you're beautiful, you're awesome. I just see, and when you get to hear people and their aspirations and things they want to do, it's like, oh, I can already see it. Like the Believe in Battle Creek, sometimes I'm like, that's so silly to me. Like, of course Battle Creek's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I like...
like, I already see it. I already see our downtown thriving and, like, these connections and stuff, right? Like...
That's why, like, the other day I made that video where it's like, Believe in Battle Creek kind of seems a little passive.
Yeah.
Or build...
Can only
Battle
take you
Creek.
so far.
Right.
So we try to move from the believe stage to the build stage.
Yeah,
And I know that's not for
building.
everyone.
Yeah.
And we need the people that are just behind us, supporting us, but we need a certain amount of people to go to that build.
Yeah.
And to just build the community, just build all aspects.
And you
of it.
definitely can see it though, like the past 4 months,
4 or 5 months, yeah.
that we've seen, like
Totally.
it's crazy the amount of people that like are coming together and kind of putting in those the foundation to build something great.
Yeah. I think it's like, when before there was electricity or something, and you said to people like, you're gonna be able to plug in and you're just gonna be able to
Yeah.
turn lights on, and people are like, you are crazy, right?
Right.
And then you literally show it to them, and they're like, that's legit. Like, you know, like, that is awesome. I think the same exact thing, like, especially, like, I think we just already see it, and when you see it, it's gonna happen, like, and that's that energy, like, when that gets going, it just amplifies, and you're seeing, like, all this attraction to that, you know, of, like, people that are like-minded people are gonna come together, like, there's a reason that even we met, and, like, it just feels so easy, because it's like, oh, cool, yeah, this is the next step in us all growing, right? And we grow so that we can, like, help more people and be there for more people, which is so awesome.
So is that why you chose Battle Creek to kind of be your place of business?
That's a good question. So I have 2 little ones, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and just kind of post high school spent time wanting to, like, experience and be all over. Then once I had kids, it's probably the grandma guilt. No, I'm just kidding. But once you have kids, I'm like, okay, I want to be near family. I have my little brother is here in town. My like whole extended family. My older brother will be back from California. He's finishing up like a master's at Davis and stuff, but he'll be back here. And family's so important to me. I'm like, this is my everything to me, you know, and that extends out. Like, my grandpa owned a small business for years and years and years in Battle Creek, right on Capitol Avenue, and his family, Cole Florist.
Okay.
So now it's Florist across from Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Right by where we live.
And prior to that, like, his family owned greenhouses, and just, you know, pouring in this community. My family's gone to, like, St. Phil and all these longer term, and going out and experiencing living different places. Again, there's, like, nothing like coming back and the support and love and, like, people. Oh my gosh, like, it's insane. And it's such a more joyful, like, creating joy in my life is super important to me, and it's such a more joyful way for it to practice and live, and I just love it.
Especially because, like, Battle Creek is pretty much a small community, and, like, everybody knows everybody. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's big and small at the same time. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could have maybe done our coffee shop in Grand Rapids or Kalamazoo or Lansing or East Lansing, and we could have probably had more customers, more this and that, but I don't think the support we would have gotten would have been as big.
I think it would have just been another coffee shop,
Yeah.
or you would have been just another chiropractor.
And I think in the end, we'll probably end up being more successful because we were here where we're from. And we built something up here, and more people will resonate with that than just 2 guys in East Lansing making coffee.
And super impactful. Yeah, you guys are gonna have a huge impact on this community and really laying a foundation for that too, which is so cool. And you guys have shown, like, I saw you guys go live with the other new coffee shop, and I'm like, it's just so cool, because that right there just shows who you guys are, and it also is, that's the truth right there too. Like, I would love if another chiropractor opened up next door to me, because so many people need chiropractic. You know what I mean?
You can't get to everybody.
No, there's no way. And, like, just building that is just so cool. Like, so cool. So I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so another question we had for you is, what makes you different from other chiropractors? Like, what sets you apart?
So, I think that I don't know if it makes it different, but I will talk about things that are unique about us, is that we do a membership base. So something that was really huge to me is when I tell somebody a recommendation, I want it to feel congruent and authentic to me, right? So when I was recommending, like, I would go home and adjust my kids or check them weekly, or if they had a fall, or they got sick, or there's a crawling issue, whatever's going on, I'm gonna check them, I'm gonna adjust them. And not just like one of my children, everybody in the family is going to be. So when I was practicing out in California, it felt like, how do you tell someone, hey, this is what I do and this is what I want you to do, but it's hundreds of dollars a month. It's costing you so much money, and they were choosing which children to bring and which person to bring and all these things. And I'm like, okay, how do we allow this to be attainable, time effective, cost effective, and wellness. How do we allow it to be part of their reoccurring like lifestyle, just the way we go to a gym or a trainer or whatever it is. So we do a membership based. So our families come in for one flat rate, the whole family, 2 adults, all the children, or our individuals, people come in for one flat rate for the whole month, which is really, really cool. Another thing I think is unique, but I know isn't just to me, is that people are, I can honestly say I love my patients and I love what I do, and people are like family to me. And when I make a decision, when I'm taking care of somebody, I try to, like with a child or something, I always am like, if I were questioning whether I should take an x-ray, I would be like, if it were Gracie, my child, what's my decision right now? And I personally, when I'm looking for somebody on my health team, that's what I'm looking for, is someone that's gonna say, hey, what would I do? I care enough about you that like I'm making my decisions like you were family to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I do here, and I think that makes it really unique. We have a ton of fun in here. Bailey's here. We're always like Song Request Friday, and like we just have
came in, you guys were just laughing up a storm.
Yeah, we're always
like we walked into your home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we have a ton of fun, and I think that's different. Sometimes I think a lot of people take stuff too serious, like
especially like a doctor's office.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
like
hate going to the doctor.
Yeah, no, and we're definitely, I think the purpose of life is to be happy and to have fun, and so we do a lot of that. So it's really awesome.
Well, that's really different because like my doctor, he left.
Yeah.
I only remember ever seeing him one time.
Oh wow.
And then usually it was just a PA or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just a assembly line. You'd
Yeah.
walk in, you'd check in, you'd sit down, they'd call you in, you'd wait 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and then you'd say, okay, see you later,
Yeah.
and then you're out of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
it
that's
was like
been,
a business trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, business transaction, or I think that's been another thing about Battle Creek that's been so positive, is out in Cali we did a lot of like co-care with other providers, and it's been awesome working with the Battle Creek community, whether it's OTs, PTs, MDs, whoever it is. It's been a really awesome experience being able, because there's a time, thank goodness we do have pathogenic care because disease and that comes up, and it's been really nice being able to work hand in hand with them, which is really great too. But yeah, I think that changes the culture of it, right? Is like, it's not just a normal pathogen, like you're sick and this is why. I want people to be coming in because they know what chiropractic can do for them.
Like you said, it's kind of like a lifestyle.
Totally.
When it's that other way, you kind of don't want to go in.
Right,
It's just like, I'm going to be here for an hour, and it's going to be unpleasant.
Yeah, totally. And and another thing people have said to me is like, since they are on a monthly, they know, it's important to me when people come in that you know how much you're going to pay, you know how much, it's straightforward.
Yeah.
Like I hate that feeling of going in and then being like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was just going to drop $800 on that.
Yeah.
Like it's not a good feeling. So I love having very straightforward with my patients and our practice members, and they've said to me like it completely changes their mindset about the experience too, because they're not paying or writing a check every time or feeling like, oh, I can't afford this, or I really shouldn't get Johnny in because Susie needs it, or whatever it is. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing, and if something happens, we just call you and we just come in, and there's such a good emotional component to it that's really, really cool. So
since this is like when I first heard about it, I was like, a monthly subscription for chiropractic. I was really confused. Is this something you picked up in California, or?
So one of my good friends who practices out in Petaluma, I'm pretty lock and load. Like when I see something that really speaks to me, I'm just like, boom, let's go for it. So I had been, visiting lots of practices, seeing lots of different things, and she's awesome. She teaches she's just an amazing person all around. And I went out to her office, and within like 5 minutes of being there, I was like, this is it. And it was the same vibe. Like, my mailman came in, he's like, is this a daycare or a like, what is this? Because we have that many kids and families. But same thing with her office, and there was like a basket of clothes, kids' clothes, like just take it, leave it, do what you need. Community, like our community boards, any way that we can help support other businesses, I'm all about. Like, it's just her whole vibe, and I'm like, okay, yep, I'm doing this. And it is unconventional, but I think it's the way things are going because people want to choose what they want to do. And that goes back to congruency and authenticity for me, because when you're doing insurance, you are you're contracted, you work for that insurance company, and they wouldn't see your x-rays, they wouldn't talk to you, they didn't touch your back, and they would tell me, he gets 4 visits, he gets 5 visits. It made me so mad. I'm like, you don't even know this person. It's literally, you want to talk about a number? Literally a number to you. And this person needs more than 4 or 5 visits, you know?
It's kind of what we talked about on the way here. On the way here, I was like, I always went to my chiropractor and was like, can I just set something up monthly? Because it's about like the time just to keep me, preventative medicine to keep me ready. And they're like, well, we can't really do that because the insurance company thinks that it's not, that it's preventative. So they don't want to do it.
They can't do it. So then imagine seeing kids. Like, there's not a lot of the diagnostic codes don't really apply to a child or a child's spine or issues. Like, I'm not adjusting them for issues, I'm adjusting them for optimization. It's 2 different things. So those worlds will never go hand in hand, they just won't. And the freedom that it brings to be able to not make a recommendation to someone because of a company is amazing, like amazing. And the other part that goes hand in hand with that too is like, all over. Like, for example, I had a vet that he's on his like 3rd adjustment, and this made me so mad out in California is the VA was so busy, so they'd overflow, and they're doing the best that they can, but these vets would get like 8 visits and it just wasn't enough. And we see a ton, we do discounts for veterans and service members and stuff, so we see a ton of vets, and he was like, he was anyway, his 2nd or 3rd visit, he came in and he was like, this has just changed my life. Like, I haven't felt this way in 10 years. And his wife was like, we actually had dinner as a family, like he wasn't exhausted, and it wasn't like, oh, my back pain feels better, it was my energy, my PTSD.
So I guess to kind of piggyback off that, like everybody knows that if you go to a chiropractor because your back hurts, so what other things do you do? You listed some preventative stuff, but what else is there? Yeah,
for sure. So it's pretty cool because when we think about getting an adjustment, what you can think, a better way to think about it is it's clearing up the messages going out and the feedback coming back. So instead of like a bad game of telephone where it's kind of, you have clear function and clear message. And I'll tell people straight up when they come in with sciatica or shoulder issue. I'm never going to lie to you guys. I don't know if your shoulder is going to get better. Like, if someone told you that they do, they really don't know that. It's our experience. Like, chiropractic rocks. You almost get kind of cocky. You're like, I know that's going to get better in 3 days, or whatever. But, like, that's truly not up to you. But what I do know is once we clear out the subluxation, your body's functioning better. Its lymphatics are moving. It's communicating better. And your body knows how to heal it. Like, when I have kids come in and I'm like, hey, their first visit, you can't really explain chiropractic the same way. I'm like, hey, if you skin your knee, what happens? They're like, it bleeds. I'm like, okay, after it bleeds, it scabs up. Okay, after it scabs up, like, what happens? Well, it heals. Like, yeah, do you worry about that? No. Do we go to bed? Are any of us going to go to bed tonight and be like, oh, snap, I hope there's gravity tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like, it's a law. And when you kind of, like, get people back to the fact that, like, hey, your body's always trying to heal, that's a really, really cool thing. So chiropractic supports that. So once we get out of symptomatic, which is hard, we're all raised in it. My mom was an awesome teacher that had awesome insurance. We went to the doctor for everything. And thank goodness, we have an awesome doctor that Dr. Mark's usually like, Abby, calm down. I'm like, okay, just want to know. Like, thank God for that. But when we're in that mindset of fear-based, of symptomatic care, of pathology, then we kind of forget about healing. What can I do to support my body in healing? What things can it heal? And we're coming full circle. We're like, okay, we may have overused antibiotics. Okay, like this we need to wait out, And so chiropractic supports that. When you take care of, also in Cali, I used to take care of like some Olympic, or the row, Stanford row, or athletes, right? They're a great representation of that because they're not coming in always, because of ache or pain. They're coming in. We had a lot of like the minor pro, like baseball and stuff. If you can increase them in any facet, like they're coming in for optimization.
Right. Yeah.
Chiropractic optimizes your body's ability to function. So So when you're doing that, you're raising the threshold, and that's everything. Health is everything. Health is our ability to do the things that we love to do, and our ability to live a lifestyle way different than other people are going to be able to, if you know, are able to do that. And it's a threshold of keeping your body able to deal with the stresses in life. And that's what chiropractic does. It helps support that.
So it's kind of weird because everybody always thinks and like applauds athletes for taking care of the body because, you know, that's their,
they're so
meal
destructive.
ticket. But everyone's meal ticket is their body. Like if you can't go to work, you
Yeah.
can't get out of bed without your back hurting,
Yeah.
you can't work. So why, I think maybe we as a society or a culture need to change that
Yeah.
and like realize everybody needs to take care of their bodies
Yeah.
like that and optimize it.
I do
Yeah.
think that that's definitely on the rise in the society, is just taking
Yeah.
care of your body, eating right,
Yeah.
exercising. Like that's definitely going way
We're
up.
getting back to that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole fad of like, oh my god, we can microwave our dinners, kind of like gone
Yeah,
down, and now we're
right.
back full circle to like, we want an organic chicken
Yeah,
from our neighbor
exactly.
again. You know, like, oh, that might be healthier. So yeah, chiropractic is awesome, and you know, a lot of people don't know that because we haven't done a good job as chiropractors teaching that, or we're like, oh yeah, of course we love that, of course we think that,
Yeah.
of course we live that. But so-and-so's not going to want to know that. They just want their back. Like, no, most people are like, that's amazing. Like, I had no idea.
I
And their
definitely
life
think-
has changed from it, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think in the past chiropractors kind of got a bad rap anyway. Like
Yeah.
they're not doing anything to you. They're just crushing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're, you know, some I guess like traditional medicines.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
some people, they said their parents were nurses or whatever and just
Yeah.
made them swear off
Yeah.
because, you know, they're breaking
Yeah.
people's backs and stuff like
The
that.
cool thing is that was a long time ago, and now we've come full circle. And I think it goes both ways. Like, we need to also show love and respect to medical fields and co-care. I just had a PT in tonight, and him and I were like talking about our goal should be, how can you help people? I was gonna say get people better faster, but like truly, like how can we be of service to people? And that you're not getting anywhere telling people not to use any of these things. Like, it's all about informed consent, and then people really following their innate, what makes sense for them, their family, and getting all of these different inputs. And there's a time and a place for everybody. Isn't that funny that fear mindset is, oh my gosh, you can't be, then I won't be successful, or no, there's enough like abundance and light and love. Now I'm sounding like a hippie who's from California, but it's the truth, right?
Yeah,
Like, there's
positivity
enough.
wins.
Yeah, always. Like, you never get rid of darkness with darkness.
Right.
Same thing. Like, I would never get rid of that stigma by being like, oh, don't go to your whoever. Like, no, like, only light outcasts that, and that's like, hey, that's awesome. You should have an awesome primary care, and these people that do pathology, because I don't, right? I do health and wellness, and you know what that entails. So, and we're good at that. We're really good at that.
That
So,
positive angle kind of always goes back to like one of my favorite things to say is I tell people all the time, you know, if you don't ask, the answer's no.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are afraid to ask questions or ask for things all the time, so the answer's always no.
Yeah.
When if you could just say, hey, can you help me out? The answer most of the time is probably going to be yes, because most people want to help other people out.
I've asked for so many stupid things, and people are like, "Yeah, sure, I'll help you." And I'm like,
Yeah, like literally
like,
all I
asked
had
the
to
person
do
at
was.
drive-through to be like, "Can you take care of my trash?" And they're like, "Sure."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, "All right."
Cute. That was awesome.
So, yeah, back to like entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
What's one of the biggest setbacks or failures, if you want to say, that has actually led to a greater success in your career? Like, one for us is we went to a show that we sold nothing, but we spent 18 hours together figuring out how to.
It's kind of workshopping how we were going to go, and then that directly led to us having a shop.
Right,
So, like,
yeah.
what is an example of that for you?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I think that, man, there's been some hard, as you guys know, when you start a business, there's been some whammies. Like, even today I was dealing with like Michigan unemployment. I was just like, oh my gosh. But I think like you guys said, like every time that happens, something good comes out of it. One thing is, like, when I was moving back, I was going to take another associate position, not here in Battle Creek, and it would have been, Jackson's awesome and stuff, but it kind of wasn't really working out. And I'm like, dang it, you know, you want to like push for these things that you think should be happening in your life. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to take this? Am I not? It didn't feel right. I didn't feel like all the things I just talked about, I wouldn't have been doing in this office, right? Like, we would have been in, like, whatever. And I get on my computer and bring up, I don't even remember the website. I think it was just a normal real estate, which usually commercial sometimes is in. And this building came up, and it's one that I had wanted for like years that I just think is perfect. And I love the Pimpville community. I love everything about it. And so this like hardship of wanting to fit the circle into a square and it not feeling right, and then boom, this came up. And then this has been a beyond amazing experience because the Dr. Dre, who also practices out of this building Tuesday and Thursdays, has just been so much love and light. Him and Judy, his wife, and just all the things I needed that I didn't even know I needed at the time were all there for me.
That's awesome.
All provided. And you hear that like with people. Like, I just had patients that they were supposed to go south for Florida, and they were so worried because of all the weather, their rental went, and I'm like, I swear, there's something, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And it turned out, and this whole other thing unfolded, and I'm like, it's just so important to stay present and stay in faith and not fear.
Right.
Faith and not fear. Like, that's
Keep that
chiropractic.
positivity.
Yeah, positivity, yeah. That instead of this is happening to me, it's happening for me.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, okay,
Just that
I'm being
simple mind.
open to the fact that I didn't get that job or no
Yeah.
one showed up to here. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't happening for me because it's not, it's for me. Like, it's teaching me or taking me closer to, like, the next thing that I'm supposed to do.
Just
so,
that
yeah.
simple mind switch can
It's
create
huge,
so
right?
much for you.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's what happens.
It's like you can find 100 reasons why not to do something.
Right.
But you just find that
Right.
one, and then you can just be infinitely more happy with your life.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really what life is about.
Yeah.
Just being
Right.
happy. And if
Right.
you're happy
Yeah.
doing whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It kind of like makes me irritated when I like ask someone like if they want to do something, and I always like well, they ask like a million questions, and right off the bat, you know that person's gonna be like, no, I'm not.
No.
The end answer is going to be no because they're looking for that no already instead of going, sure,
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah. Which is so hard. Like, I remember getting out of school, you want to, like, oh my god, chiropractic's so great, you're going to feel so good in 4 months, blah, 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 blah. And some people don't want it. And, like, out of school, I was, like, wanted it for everyone. And then I was like, oh, it's way easier to be like, hey, I love and respect you.
Right, yeah.
This is never going to be you. So cool. And then focus on, like you said, the people that are like, and then you attract more of that too. Like, that's just, I realized I'm like, I can't want your health and well-being more than you do.
You just give out the information. That
I'm like here for you. Give it to. I don't care if you see me once a year. Like, whatever you want to do is up to you. My responsibility is to tell you like what you can do and believe in you and know that. Like, and I think that's what you're talking about. And it goes full circle back to like us being entrepreneurs and doing the things that we're doing and having that energy and that vibe and just attracting that because that's awesome.
Patience too, having patience.
Oh, and then real talk, right? Like, it's not all flowers and like
Sunshine
it's
and
hard.
lollipops, that's what
Yeah, and it's like some days, you're like, why am I doing this? Like, so having that real talk, and that goes hand in hand. I don't know how people parent and don't. I talk constantly all day long to my moms about like, I'm like hiding in a closet eating a chocolate bar too. Like, like Facebook sometimes puts it out there that everything's so good, and I think it's really important that, we all go through these highs and lows and ebbs and flows, and that's okay. It's normal. Yeah. It's okay,
Everybody's life is like an Instagram page. So
Totally.
It's like great. Oh, this person's got a great life.
I mean, we've had those, 15, 16-hour days where you've been sitting in the cargo unit at 40 degrees, just freezing, and we don't want to go make more coffee, but we know we have to, and just you got to push through it sometimes. And it was like this summer was a grind.
Yeah.
So it was just long days, long nights, just
starting something new you just don't know.
Like, yeah.
And I mean, we're not even anywhere close to being there.
Right, not even.
Yeah.
And so it's just refreshing to hear other people that have gone through the same thing. And, I mean, I guess that's another goal of this was just to show other people that people may look at our Facebook and your Facebook and your life
Yeah.
and think, oh man, it was so easy for them to just do this.
Reality,
Yeah.
it's
You
just
hear,
marketing.
you
Yeah.
hear that everywhere. Oh, it just looks like it's so easy for you guys
Yeah.
to do that. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, guess what? You quit your 2 jobs
Yeah.
and moved back home.
Yeah.
When you love living in Grand Rapids.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
It's like act as if. Act as if. Like you guys are the whatever that is. Like, oh, I have this awesome community. And I have these patients that love me, and I have this successful business, or I have the best coffee in Southwest Michigan, or we distribute to, just like act like continually like knowing, believing and knowing that that's the way it's gonna be, and then it expands and it will fall into place. And
All right, thank you, Dr. Abby, for joining us on Drinks with Los Hermanos, episode 2. Our first guest. Thank you very much. This is a beautiful place.
Yeah. Loved coming
guys.
down here and seeing
Yeah.
you and talking with you and talking shop and learning more about chiropractic care and wellness and anything you want to leave up with.
no, I'm just so grateful. So thank you guys for thinking of me and coming. I'm so glad you guys are here and so excited for everything. I really, really am. So it's awesome.
Thank you for coming in. And we'll see you next time.
And as
Bye.
always, take it easy.